This is the show where two friends from different parts of the world discuss all things, all elite wrestling. And one of them actually knows what they're talking about. We'll let you decide. Welcome to the Beauty and the Beard Pro Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Woody and Sarah.
It is time for some more questions and some more answers. This is the one with the Q&A bit.
We try to answer actual answers that are helpful.
Yeah, we try to answer them. We try to get real answers in there, but sometimes things kind of go astray.
If you're not used to that by now, when listening to this for nearly over a month, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, because some of these go way off the beaten path, and I wonder sometimes how we got there, and I can't find my way back.
You got to strap in for this stuff.
So buckle up, and we'll get started. Sarah, are you ready to answer some questions?
I am. Let's go.
All right, bring it on.
Okay, so our first question today is from Ted the Hillbilly Heel. Hello.
What's going on?
The question that we have is, after these series of individual matches, what is next for the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle feud?
Ooh.
Starting off with an easy one.
Yeah, we have MJF and Sammy Guevara coming up.
I'm assuming we're getting Wardlow.
Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming we're going to get Santana Ortiz and FTR.
Yes.
Feels like that. And
does nobody want to wrestle Shawn Spears?
Good point. Yeah, Spears has not had a match yet, as far as like a one-on-one match in this feud, not one announced. And neither has Jericho either. But naturally, you would think this would lead to another team versus team match with the Pinnacle going over.
Yeah.
Because going into Stadium Stampede, like you thought, and a lot of people thought, that the Pinnacle needed to go over. They needed to make sure they established themselves as the dominant faction in AEW. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a cool thing to see the Inner Circle winning that. But yeah, we're going to have to get to another team match. Now, it would not surprise me if they save that match, whatever it is, for that New York show. AEW Dynamite Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. That might be a landing spot for that. But I'm not sure what type of match it would be, though. Really should have read this question earlier and thought about it. Now, another thing to think about, another option to throw out there. The Newark show, New Jersey show, is shortly after the New York show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And that was where they had originally planned to have the original Blood and Guts match, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. I mean, do you give those fans what they were promised, a Blood and Guts match again, and have that be the Inner Circle versus?
You can't have another one so soon after having one.
I mean, you normally wouldn't, but yeah, I know. I just keep thinking of AEW loving to give the fans what they want. As far as those fans, they were promised a Blood and Guts match. So if you try to get to it somehow, I don't know. It doesn't make sense in the broader scheme of things, but in the sense of trying to reward those fans, I could see that as being a reason to do it. But I agree, it would make sense. I agree in a broader scope, it wouldn't feel right having another Blood and Guts match with the same people in it, because Pinnacle already won that. I don't know. What do you think? Now that I've rambled on and on and on and made some sense.
Yeah. I can't see them doing another Blood and Guts this year, because you don't want to have too much of a good thing and it just feel not special. So they can always go back to that place and do a Blood and Guts next year, and they're still getting it eventually.
True.
It's like they were meant to come over to the UK last year for Fyter Fest. Well, they didn't, so we won't be getting it this year. We'll probably get it next year.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's just one of them. it's the pandemic that's caused the issues, not AEW. So
exactly, yeah.
I don't know how that worked, but with regards to the Inner Circle and Pinnacle, they've definitely got to leave the whole, like how we said originally, we was liking it to do would be to have where MJF hurts Jericho so much he can't compete in like the last kind of match that will ever happen between them, or like what's meant to be the final match type thing. And then so MJF's like, well, that's it, then we win, whatever. But then Sammy comes in going, no, I'm going to take his place, and beats MJF. That's the way I eventually see it going. In between that, I know Santana and Ortiz are definitely setting their sights on the tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just what you do in the meantime. And also, to be honest with you, like, because this is such a big storyline in AEW right now, you don't necessarily have to visit it every week to see what happens next. There is times where they cannot go off and do their own thing, and the Pinnacle can get involved in some other stuff as like a background story type thing. It doesn't all have to be this or nothing, as we've seen with like the Elite side of things or Team Taz. Stuff can happen away from the main story point, but it can still filter into it. So I don't. I just don't. It's one of them bits where at the moment where in AEW you've not seen two factions actually go head to head. It was meant to be obviously the Elite and the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
And that was meant obviously kick off with Blood and Guts and all that type of stuff, but obviously that didn't happen. She never really got going, but never fully got going is what I'm saying. It's like what this has. So I don't know how.
We don't know how.
I don't know how. I just know that I just know that they're gonna have, obviously, I just would have thought it would be Sean Spears and Sammy. Was a bit thrown off by the MJF and Sammy.
Yeah, because you think that would be saved more, like you would eventually get to that, but it wouldn't happen now.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I was surprised to see it announced so quickly. I would think you would go Sammy Spears and eventually get to Sammy MJF. But here we are. So who knows? Who knows what they're gonna throw at us? So we took a couple of stabs at it. All right.
We cannot answer this question properly. This is what we were saying. We cannot answer some of these because our brains melt at like the thought of how AEW can do some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the process.
Yeah, it's all just opinions, anyways. We're all just, really, all we're doing on here is speculating as to what's going to happen, regardless. So, because I haven't been invited to a creative meeting yet with AEW.
No, we are waiting on that invite.
Yep, I keep messaging them. I've been blocked by a few. Anyways, keep going. Yeah.
We have next question from Ben.
Ben, what's up?
Hey, it's 2 questions, Ben, today.
2 questions, Ben.
First question is, what do you guys think of the new Rampage graphics? And TK saying he is going to contract new talent for the show.
I love those graphics. The little,
they are fire.
30-second promo things that I saw during Dynamite. Yeah, with the lightning and the it's what does it say at the end? Game on, I think.
Yeah.
At the end of I like that. I like that. I love it. I think it does. As a WCW fan, I know you're going to say he's old. Here it comes from the 90s. Just go ahead and saying it before you do.
He's old.
Yeah, it does. It does remind me of the Thunder promo things when Thunder came out, and I'm not crazy about that relationship because Thunder was garbage. Let's just be honest. I want that. Rampage should be so much better, and I think it's going to be. Yeah, although that does remind me of Thunder because of all the lightning and everything, it is awesome. Awesome graphic. Definitely.
I like it. I really like it.
Yep. Oh, what was the other?
I didn't hear that he had that he was saying he was signing new contract and signing new on for the show, so I didn't know that. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
I couldn't even speculate who that would be either.
No, and that's surprising too, because they're one of the things that people have talked about was how big AEW's roster is already,
Yeah.
and that having this second show will help alleviate some of that, will give some of those people a place. So it is a little surprising to hear some new people being signed. That doesn't mean that he's signing major people either.
No.
I'd have to see who has been signed in order to, I guess, make a full judgment on that. But I do think it's interesting that apparently he's signed some new talent for that show.
And Ben's second question is, the new console game footage is really good. Slightly off topic, but are you planning on purchasing said game when it drops? If so, what features are you really wanting for it?
Yes, I will be pre-ordering that game as soon as it becomes available for pre-order. I will own that game. It looks, the footage that has been shown, the little bit we saw of Darby Allin wrestling the Green Dummy, that looked great, and that's like really early footage. That got me excited. It already looks like it's going to be fun to play. And I'll tell you a feature that did in, aside from the creator wrestler stuff, because that's always fun.
I love creating wrestlers.
Yeah,
that was like my
fun.
highlight during like the SmackDown games of like early 2000s. Was just great, like where they had like the block hair.
Yeah, you spend all day creating wrestlers.
Literally, that's
intros.
I didn't really play much of the game. I just made people.
Yeah, these are all my friends.
I made like tiny women beat up The Rock in the street fight. Just like the most random things ever. But the feature I'm looking forward to the most is a career mode. Yes.
That, again, aside from the creator wrestler, that's like on a whole nother level. That's like a whole nother game. But the career mode is always something that was all, and I haven't played a wrestling game in a long time. I'm just going to say that.
No.
I don't even think. No, honestly, I've never played any of the WWE 2K games. Any of them.
I've not.
I've not. I almost did, just because of the creator wrestler, just because I heard that was a really, really good in those games. It's the same thing. I was like, I just want to create a bunch of people. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can create these indie guys.
It's like Sims for wrestling fans.
Exactly. But my favorite thing in the games when I did play it was always that career mode.
Yeah. The
story mode in it. So I'm interested to see how detailed they go with that and what freedoms you're given within within that career mode. That for me, that's the big one. How about you? Other than creator wrestler.
So one of great more wrestlers. I'm gonna make a wrestle of me and you, Woody, and we can be a tag team.
That's it.
Or I'm gonna wrestle against you and kick your ass.
That's probably what's gonna happen. You will.
If I can get that Moxley's bat and a leather jacket, oh boy, you in for trouble.
Like, I thought it was cool you had us as a team for a second, and then it took all of 20 seconds for you to turn on me. We're a team. No, we're not. I just attacked you with a baseball bat. Like, oh man,
I'm a fickle woman. Let's just say.
God, what did I do in 20 seconds?
I don't know. I got the idea. It's like, team. No, kill him.
No. Yeah, there's gonna be so much blood all over my all white outfit you're gonna make. Just make sure to put a halo above my head if it's a feature. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Get them devil horns on you.
So I am getting the game.
Yes.
My husband's not happy about this fact because he's like, wait, we only have like we have two consoles. His old Xbox and his like PS4. And I was like, yeah. He's like, so you'll be sitting in my games room, in my games chair, with my fridge, and where am I? I said, we can be downstairs, can't you? You can play my Nintendo Switch. And he's like, I was like, well, there you go, love. Sorry, we'll have to We'll have to take turns in the games room, won't we?
Or you can just get your own system. You can just join the Xbox family with the rest of the cool people.
You see, I don't like spending my own money.
Ben's an Xbox guy too. He's with me. Come on, man.
Oh, we're PS in this house. I'm sorry. Awkward. But yeah, I want. You can be
both. You can be both.
Can I be both?
It's okay. You can be both. Go ahead.
I'm cool anyway. But yeah, I want the game. I want to create a wrestler. I want to create so many people. I want to create my own faction, like my dream faction.
Yeah, and kick me out of it.
Yeah, you're not even in it. What do you mean kick you out of it? It's just me, Marks, Eddie, and Santana Ortiz. I'm just rocking about AEW.
That's all right. I'll just come out as Bearded Buck. Come out with the buck.
Which one? There's already two of them. You'd be like the budget version. Instead of cool spray, you just got a water bottle.
That's great. Oh.
And you got Sammy's vlog belt instead of a tag team belt. Yeah,
which is one of the Walmart toy belts.
Yeah, I want to create my own faction, and I want like a career mode, but as in kind of like where you rise up and you have like interactions with other wrestlers. Kind of like a, like I don't know if anybody's played this, but LA Noir had a really good system where if you selected certain ways to go, it altered the story. And you had choices to make of how you answered questions or how you asked stuff. Yeah. And it gave you endless possibilities of how the story would move through. I'd love something like that where your decision making affects your career.
I started thinking Mass Effect. I'm a Mass Effect fan. Like the Mass Effect trilogy to me is like the greatest game trilogy of all time. And my bad if you don't think that, but I love it. And it's the same thing where you get those different choices.
Yeah.
In conversations, you have different choices, and
yeah,
the choices you make, people die because of the decisions you made. There's, I don't want people to die on the AEW video game, but I mean, like the choices you make can determine whether somebody turns on somebody or.
Yeah, that's what I'm after. Something like that to make it more realistic. And like, I want to be able to like go to like a sign and like start a fight and just like crazy stuff. Yeah. And I want like the street fights to be like a Darby Allin and Sting version, just because that was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I kick the hell out of MJF just for lols? Is that allowed? I'm better than you, and boom.
Yeah.
Shut up. And on the game, I would like to upstage Cody. Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Upstage Cody. Gosh.
I also want to choose my own intro. So like his can be like his normal intro, and then I want mine with like doves flying,
bigger
bats and everything.
Doves flying.
Doves and bats.
Doves and bats flying out. Oh my goodness.
Bats, the goth birds.
Yeah, I know, but I pictured doves and bats flying out together. It just seemed weird.
And the bats are going for the doves.
The doves are flying for their lives. Like, release the doves. Now the bats. And the doves panic. Go. Fly faster, fly faster. And then the bats are just annihilating the doves in front of everybody. This is just, gosh.
And
you have the coolest, weirdest intro.
As I walk down, blood rains down. And that's my entrance.
Just kill the doves right there.
Literally,
in front of everybody.
Cody would run.
I would.
Everybody would.
You have doves getting murdered during an intro.
I get PTA right on my back.
Where'd all the fans go?
Go on, Cody. Panda now. I am joking.
All right.
I like Cody Rhodes, but I still think it's hilarious. Now that I've had my bats killing the doves. And yeah.
I'm
waiting for a call from the protection of animals soon. So
Yeah. PETA, line 1.
PETA.
PETA is on line 1.
Right, next question.
All right, next question.
Next question. Do you think Pac, Eddie, John, Ray, Penta, which sounds like the most random collection of men ever, should make an actual faction?
No. I do think I tell you that is a ton of talent.
Yes.
In that faction. Amazing talent. And I wouldn't mind them working together temporarily, kind of like Kingston, Penta. They worked with Frankie Kazarian on this last Dynamite. That kind of thing. Like, I'm cool with it being like a temporary. Hey, we're going to bond together to defeat this foe for this one night. But no, I don't want Moxley a part of any faction. I don't.
No.
I don't think he fits with a faction. He fits with Eddie Kingston sometimes. I don't necessarily want to see. I know you probably want to see them together all the time, but I don't. And they're fun together, but I don't even want to see them together all the time either. I think they're both. Kingston fits better in a group than Moxley does. I just think Moxley is much better as a lone wolf, where the odds are always against him because he doesn't need friends. He doesn't need a big group behind him to protect him. He is his own protection. So that's the kind of character I always want to see Moxley as. How about you?
Few things on this. One, Moxley's not had a great run with factions, let's just say. He always seems to kind of get the brunt end of the deal, unless it was with the Inner Circle where he gained a car. So,
Good point.
Then 10 seconds that he was there, he gained a car.
He got a prize.
He got a prize for it. No, I don't want to see him with a load of people. He kind of seems to be like he doesn't play well with others. I get that. I don't play with others anyway. But I want to see him with Eddie. I just want them to have that connection that no matter what happens in AEW or anything, that they've always got each other's backs. I don't want it to go back to be where they're like, rivals or anything. I want to be like, if needed, Eddie will come and save Moxie's ass, or if needed, Mox will come and save Eddie. I want that. I don't want the whole them two together end just now. But if it does eventually, I still want them to have that connection, or like promo, or if like Eddie's got a problem with someone, Mox will help him out. That type of thing. Not necessarily a faction, but just like a sort of like, the friends, be friends. Like, I'm not gonna spend 24 hours a day with my best mate, but if she needs me, I'll turn up. That type of thing.
Yep. That makes sense.
So I don't want it to completely disappear, but I just think if Mox is in a group of that many people, he's gonna get frustrated and then just start lashing out on his own anyway, which would then get everybody else annoyed, which then just creates unhappy Moxley and unhappy Eddie, and no one wants to see that.
But you like unhappy Moxley.
I like unhappy Moxley. But, I do, but I don't want it to be where he's like dying inside.
Yeah, I
just want him to be annoyed at the world, not generally just like everybody hates me.
You just want him to have motivation to punch somebody. That's what.
I just want him to, if he needs somebody, he has a friend. That's all I want for him. I got a friend.
That makes sense.
Just one friend.
One friend.
He's been doing it on his own for so long. I miss him. I really do.
I can tell. You really, really do.
I really do. Next question is from Safe Moon Jedi Knight. Very cool name. So that question is, what's going on with Stu Grayson? What's next for Lance Archer? He's lost every big match. I'm guessing this means against Marks, Cody, and Miro. And who's going to dethrone the Young Bucks?
What's going on with Stu Grayson? I don't know.
Isn't he there when Uno was against Miro the other week?
He was, yeah. So he's still there. I'm not sure if there's something that I've missed, but he he was out there during Uno's shot at the TNT title because Miro attacked him and kind of threw him over the railing to the point where I actually figured that he would eventually get a TNT title shot, which that may not happen. But yeah, so he's still there. I'm
Was
not
he
sure
there
if
with
there's
Hangman this just gone? Sure, he was in that room.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
sure
know.
if there's anything special going on that I'm not aware of, but I think he's fine. I think
Okay.
Yep. What was the next one?
What is next for Lance Archer? He's lost every big match. Mox, Cody, and Miro.
Your guess is as good as mine at this point. We kept thinking he was going to get involved with Darby and Sting, and it still may happen. I mean, again, long-term storytelling. They love to do this and not let things happen instantly. Just let it slowly play out. So I'm still leaning towards it's going to go that direction, but for the immediate future, he looks pretty angry. So I anticipate him just beating people in 7 seconds. For a while until we get a definite direction. But in the promo that was cut, and we talked about this on the Dynamite review, there was mention of the Forbidden Door by Jake Roberts. So, with travel restrictions being open now more than they were before, could there be a rivalry between him and somebody from New Japan? Could he make another trip over and do a New Japan show on behalf of, AEW, representing AEW over there? Or could somebody come here? So, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that the Forbidden Door was mentioned by Jake a couple of times, so that could be a possibility too. Yep.
And I mean, Lance Archer's just in a perpetual mood at the moment. So, and as we mentioned on the review, Jake Roberts can't control his big puppy anymore. So,
no.
Good luck with that.
Yep, he's coming off the leash.
Yep, he lives in a warehouse now. And the other part of this question was, and I love this question, who's going to dethrone the Young Bucks?
That is an easy answer.
It sure is.
Easy answer. And I'll give it to you right now. Breaking news. Nobody. There will be AEW Tag Team Champions for the rest of forever. No, honestly, it's going to be Santana and Ortiz.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They are 100%. 1, due it. 2, need it. And 3, deserve it.
Yeah, they do. And it makes sense. They've been talking about it. Santana and Ortiz have been referencing that they're coming for it. That's not by accident. I think they know what's coming too. I think they're going to slowly move up those rankings. And if it does not happen at All Out, it would be really cool if it happened in front of that New York crowd.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yes, for the Dynamite Grand Slam event at Arthur Ashe Stadium. That would be special.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yes.
100%.
So, yes, myself and Sarah are in agreement.
Bringing some gold back to the inner circle.
Absolutely. All right.
So,
you want me to throw one in? You throw a question in?
You can throw one in, yeah.
All right. This is from Derek Showtime Jr. and is related to the video game. Do we get this anticipated video game from AEW later this year? Is it coming this year?
I would have said if it is going to be due this year, it's going to be more leaning towards Christmas time.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes to actually make a video game, iron everything out, test run it, and all that type of stuff. Not that funniest. Yeah. So if it's going to come out, it will be around Christmas this year. If not, it's going to be next year.
Yeah, it does take a while to. I've never made a video game either, but if
No?
you like, if you're Bethesda, it takes about a decade to create a video game. I mean, like, some of their games, it takes, man, like, come on, man, Elder Scrolls 6, come on. So no, so I would think I would lean more towards next year probably, because if we're seeing early footage now, I mean, it could be Christmas this year, but I would shoot more for middle next year probably. That's what I would think. So I wouldn't anticipate it by Christmas this year, but who knows? It would be cool if we got it. I'd rather them take their time though.
Yeah, I'd rather them not rush
get this
it
baby
because
right.
we know what happens when that happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you know what? Even though the video game I'm really mega excited for, I can't wait to get my hands on that General Manager one.
Me too. I like games like that. And I'm not a big mobile game guy. I haven't even played the casino game, honestly.
No, I've not played that. I just want that General Manager one.
So you're right. Yeah, we're kind of overlooking that because of all the news with the console game. You're right. That GM game should be fun.
100%.
Fun. And can you play that with other? I don't know. I heard you can match it with other people too on that, like a social game.
Oh, I'm 100% matching it with you, and I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, good luck. Oh, yeah. Good luck. You better spend a lot of time with that thing.
Oh well, I've got all the time in the world.
Dang it! I forgot.
You work, I don't.
Yeah, I play when I work too, so it's okay. Just remember, I'm on Twitter half the time while I'm at work. So, all right.
So we got a question here from Tony is All Elite.
What's up?
Question is Lance is a seemingly frustrated wrestler who wants gold in AEW, but AEW keeps failing him and don't know why. I think he should be champion by All Out. Now, I'm just going to say, I don't know why about which championship you're on about, but he won't be world champion by All Out. Let's just...
No. Now, there is a chance that he could be TNT champion. Well, I know I was trying to map out what would happen to Lance after losing to Miro. Kind of throughout the scenario where he would be built back up, and he would redeem himself at All Out and finally be the one to beat Miro. That's still a possibility. So could he be TNT champion by All Out? Yeah, I would give that at least a 50% chance, if not higher, maybe 70. I don't, but to touch on the AEW failing him, I would say I'm looking at when he came in, am I a little disappointed that he's not thought of more prominently than he is now in AEW? Yes. I'm not sure I would call it failing just yet, though. Because, I still think there's a story to be told, and we may be looking at Archer much differently. It's kind of like, there's a lot of people that would have said Miro is a failure when he came in. Yeah, it's his story took a lot quicker time to get to where we're looking at Miro differently. But that doesn't mean we can't look at Archer differently by next year, where all of a sudden we're like, you kind of forget that the whole thing with, the path he took to get here. Maybe the failures that we've seen him have are a part of creating the character he's going to become in AEW. So I wouldn't say failed just yet, but I do agree that there were probably a large group of people out there that would look at what's happened with Archer as a failure. So I can't argue with people looking at it that way. It does make sense. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, my thing is with Archer, right, is like when he first came in, I think everybody expected he's with Jake Roberts, he's going to be a monster and all this type of stuff. And he has had elements of that. I just personally, I don't know whether there is actually a reason behind this madness. Because I don't want to think like AEW have dropped the ball with him, because I feel like they don't. I'll call them out if they have, But
Mhm.
like I called them out with the Miro thing. Like that was ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
but then Miro's come out saying, "No, I wanted to do that." So you then
Yeah.
can't blame the wrestling company if the wrestlers have a say in it, and we know they've got a say in this. Like,
Mhm.
you know,
They
they're
do.
not being dictated to like as what they would in other companies. We know that as a fact. So I'm beginning to
Mhm.
wonder this whole thing with Lance is this is not, if there's not like a reason behind it and it's just not, we're just not there yet to see it. It was like you said with like the Forbidden Door with Jake and everything. Like
Mhm.
if he went back to like, say for example, New Japan and didn't take Jake with him because obviously you're not going to take Jake
Yeah.
all that way
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
Got rejuvenated, came back and dropped Jake. Jake's still trying to help him out, but he's completely disregarded him and he's just built himself back up. Maybe that's kind
Yeah.
of the thing of, well, like you said, you do X, Y, and Z for me. None of that's turned out. So I'm going on my own now.
Yeah.
And seeing if that, there are ways that this story is actually going to be told correctly. It may just not look like it from now. And I don't want to put all the blame on AEW because
Mhm.
Jake's having, not Jake, Lance is going to have to sign off on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
They've obviously got a plan. Like we know this. Like after Mox, I think it was either after he lost the title or before Winter is Coming, he did an interview and he said, and they was like, so what's next? And he was like, well, we know where we're going for the next few months.
Mhm.
So they obviously have, they do long-term stories. So they've obviously got plans ahead for what Lance is going to be doing.
Yep.
So I don't want to say, oh, AEW have dropped the ball with him because it may look like that, but they know they've got coming. Lance knows what they've got coming.
Yep. And
so I want to kind of like stop using the AEW of like dropped him or whatever like that, because until we get to the end thing, like what we did with when we got to the final bit of Miro and that really bad storyline, we could look back and go, yeah, that was absolutely trash. I really hope they do something really good with him, and they have done. So maybe Miro just wanted to come in as, you know, kind of light-hearted guy to then, when he then did that turn, you could see the difference. It may have not landed great, but that could have been
the plan
thing because of like how he was portrayed in WWE was this like killer, but wasn't used properly as it. So if he came in to AEW and was kind of like, you know, budding up to Kip but still had that bit of like edge to him, and then when it all fell apart, then he's got that real killer instinct, and that's what we've been missing. It's more impactful now. So
instead of coming in with the killer instinct, it's like that initial story was a reason to make him frustrated, to give him a reason to become the killer that he is now, instead of just automatically coming in. I'm here as a killer. Instead, we got this kind of funny story, but it got him frustrated. So it got him to the point where he is. So yeah, I agree. What you're saying with that is to me, it was crap too, but it still served a purpose. Like
exactly.
It wasn't just crap, and then he disappeared, and we were going to forget about it, and then we're going to, you know, it's part of that story. And it like you were saying, is a good point with a lot of the wrestlers having a say so in their stories. And like, there's like Tony Khan's going to have to sign off on that on those stories, so you can say like, well, if something's not landing right, it's kind of possibly on the wrestlers too, because they might be doing, like Miro said, he wanted to do that. There's a lot of people that would say, yeah, well, Tony Khan's got to be the one to look at it and veto that and go, no, we're not going to do that because that's not what's best for business. But the problem with that is if you do that too often, you become what you're trying to be against.
Yeah.
If Tony starts just turning down ideas from wrestlers because he doesn't fully see it, he's got to trust. If you're bringing in talent like that, you got to, in my opinion, I would think he's bringing in talent that he trusts creatively. So if you're bringing in those people, trust them and see what happens. And I think that's what he's doing. Not everything's going to work. Not everything's going to work, but he's trusting them. And I think with that, you're going to get some things that land kind of weird like that did, but you're going to get some absolute gems.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we've gotten. I think we've gotten more gems than we have duds. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and also like you've got wrestlers coming in that have been starved from that creativity. So when they get the opportunity to be creative, their minds are just going to be like, oh, okay then, and just like go.
Yeah. What?
And you've got to just like remember like they as like wrestlers and as people that, you know, are athletes and if you want to say performers or whatever, they have creativity in their mind. They've got to for what they do. So if that's been stifled for whatever reason, and then they go to this company, it's like, right, well, here in this company, we won't like your promo. We'll give you some pointers to like, you know, try and like guide you through it. You say what you want, you create what you want, and you know, we'll listen to you. Go off and do what you want. And they're like, what? Okay. Just like, you know, and with Lance, like I agree, like he has probably, you know, he's not been at the top of what I think everybody thought he was going to be when he came in. But he came in after, didn't Mox get the US title off him in New Japan?
He did. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Did Lance come in from a loss then?
Possibly. I know he lost to Moxley. I'm not sure if he had another program with somebody else other than Moxley before he came in.
Yeah, but losing a title is like a loss. Yeah. It's like, like every loss is a loss, but losing a title. And then you end up in the same company with that guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. They could be going for a match against Mox and Lance Archer for the title again. He's getting frustrated, open doors. You know what I mean? Like, why has Mox still got hold of this title, but he's hardly defended it?
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So I'm just saying, like, let's just not think he's been buried. There's probably a reason, and we just don't see it yet.
Yes. And to that point too, if in WWE, I'm going to use this as an example because that's what we're going to, you know, compare a lot of things to. If something's not working for somebody, if you say, hey, this story's not working, this thing's not getting over, they're losing, like, and you don't have ideas for them, what happens? You hear the stories of, well, they just hang out in catering all the time and they're just not getting used. You just don't see them on TV because you don't have. What other options do you have to go to the other to from Raw to SmackDown or you go to NXT or something? There's no other options. It's like, well, if I'm not being used on TV, I'm just sitting around waiting. Well, in this situation, like since AEW is working with Impact and they're working with New Japan and they're working with AAA, people can, like, you can have somebody, and if they're not being used right now, there are other opportunities. That's the good thing for that wrestler, so they don't get frustrated and they're not just sitting, quote unquote, in catering waiting to do something. They got other playgrounds they can go play in. It's not, and that's what's so refreshing about this is that they can go to New Japan, or not to say everybody's just free to go willy nilly wherever they want to. But there are options there that I'm sure, you know, I've talked to Tony Khan recently, but I'm sure that he would be okay with, like, if I'm not, I don't have any plans for this guy for the next couple of months, program in New Japan or a program with Impact or, you know, something. I know, you know, Phoenix and Penta, you know, go work in AAA or, you know, with Andrade coming in, he's going to be doing some work in AAA. We've seen that already. Anyways, I just think that's cool that even if somebody is kind of in a lull, like we're getting suggested in this question with Lance Archer, there are other options. So he doesn't just have to.
And such a beautiful segue from you mentioning other companies.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question from Arman Khan.
All right.
And they say, if you have seen Impact, Sami Callihan has had issues with Omega and the Young Bucks. Plus, Andrade wants a AAA title. Do you want Sami, Andrade, Kingston, Jungle Boy, and Penta to challenge the whole elite in AEW, even in a segment or a match?
Ah, man, I don't know. That would be interesting, to say the least.
Boys.
Yeah, but all those different guys, I just don't. I mean, I know they would kind of have a common.
That's a lot of styles as well.
Yeah, but man, that's because one, where would it happen? Would it happen to AEW? I guess. What company does that take place in? But I don't know. That's just. I would say no. I wouldn't want to. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to see that because that doesn't bode well for my guys. But I'm just saying, if Sami
he
came
can't be
in,
partial with this.
No, I just if Sami Callihan came in, that would be a pretty big deal. And if
100%.
anything Andrade is involved in would be a big deal. So I wouldn't want them to have to share the spotlight with others. I guess that's where I'm going with it. I would want it to be, this is about Andrade, and this is about what Sami Callihan's doing. I think if you bring those guys in and put them all together, I think you lose a little bit of the, no pun intended, impact.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be. I don't think I would be on board just initially with that unless other things happened before that in AEW that led to this. Like they each had their own situations where they had some stories or something within the AEW confines that led to this big match, which I know they have their own issues with Kenny and the Elite and stuff outside of AEW also. But
do you know what I'd love to see with regards to something like this, right? Is, okay, I'm really sorry, but Jungle Boy, you're out of this for a minute because you're not getting it.
What? Jungle Boy out. What?
Because you will see why. Give me a second.
Is it because he has pretty hair? Is that what it is?
No, it's just because at this point in time, he isn't getting the AEW World title, and he doesn't fit into this situation that I'm about to talk about.
I see where you're going. Okay.
So, how about, not yet, but when my boy Mox arrives home, Sami, Kingston, and Mox team up with Kazarian.
Mm-hmm.
Kick some elite butt just before Andrade challenges Kenny Omega for the AAA title.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when that's done and he gets it, then Penta, Andrade, Phoenix, and Pat can carry on what the other lads started and just grind them down into dust.
Man, you're just creating all these super teams to go after the Elite.
Yeah.
Gosh. Why all the Elite hate? I don't understand it. What is that?
Why?
What have they done to deserve this?
Oh my goodness! Should we list what they have done?
What have they done? No, we can just move on to the next question.
No,
we don't have
to
to
take forever. But could you imagine Sami Callihan, Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, and Frankie Kazarian?
Yeah.
Teaming up. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be brutal.
Yeah. And it's highly likely we could see that team at some point.
100%.
I think. Yep. So are you ready for another one from me?
I think that's all the questions I have.
Okay, so you're definitely ready for it. This is the last question.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, this is from Marshall Thornton.
Hello.
And hey, so she says, do you and Sarah expect for Jungle Boy to win the title, or is it too soon?
Too soon.
Good answer.
Not yet.
I agree. Yep.
There's only one person that's getting that title.
And that person is?
Hangman Adam Page.
Boom. Absolutely.
Boom. And then I don't know what happens afterwards since we've not got that far yet.
No. I absolutely agree. I think this will be a fun match coming up Saturday, but yeah, absolutely. This is not Jungle Boy's time.
No.
He will have his time.
100%.
Within 2 years, I would think he's going to be. I'd say within 2 years, he's going to be AEW World Champion. It's going to be pretty cool because he is that baby face that I think everyone would love to see as champion. But not yet. We got that certain anxious millennial cowboy that needs to win that title first.
So just as a caveat, my own question.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait, no. You're submitting a question to the Q&A show?
Yeah, but for you.
Now I'm gonna need you to tweet it. You got to tweet it in that thread so we can.
I'm on the podcast. I co-host with you.
No.
Just take my damn question.
No. It has to be in tweet form. Has to be in tweet form.
Are you kidding me right now?
At me.
Fine, I'll let you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You sure?
What's your question?
My question is, after the glorious Cowboy wins, and after all that dust to settle down,
yes,
and he's got his lovely title, and maybe the Elite come back to him like the tails between the legs because they've seen the error of their ways. It's just a bit where it kind of like starts to like not like for the Elite, they say, "Oh, he's forgiven us," but we know we're like, "Oh, you know, a bit like the John Moxley bit he did with the Inner Circle, where it's like, yeah, I'll join," like type thing. It's like, yeah, I'm friends with you guys again, and then John Moxley challenges Omega for something just to like beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And then Hangman and Page comes down the ramp looking to make the save as Kenny Omega is like being choked out of all life. And Hangman just raises his whiskey glass and just walks off back with the Dark Order just to say, well, you screwed me, I'm screwing you.
A toast to Moxley.
Yep.
I could see that happening.
Moxley gets his revenge on Omega.
And
Hangman gets his, like, you know, his victory.
His moment.
Mox has that glint in his eye where he sees the title and he's like, yep, I'm going back for that.
Whoa, are you suggesting that we would see a Moxley Adam Page feud?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because don't forget, in my TNT thing, Hangman Page loses that belt just as John Silver gets the TNT belt.
Yeah.
And Hangman Page wants that belt to feel whole again. So he takes it off John Silver and the world cries.
I don't think Moxley's going to be the one to take it from Page. I know we're going to go on a tangent here trying to predict the next path of the world title.
We'll do that once he wins it, but yeah.
Look, I know you want Moxley to. I know you want it so bad. I know you want that title really back on Moxley. But I'm just going to throw it out there. I think I may have said it before, but the next person in line is going to be MJF.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Because again, you're building him up to be this monster heel. If he's the one that ends Hangman's run, that solidifies him. That's the next logical step.
But my John Moxley figure is staring at me with his belt.
I got you. And look, hey, Moxley can take it from MJF, you know, a year and a half from now or something. So he'll get it. He'll get another run. He'll just have to take it from MJF.
I know he'll get another run. I just want it now.
Well, your little Mox figure that I heard you just brought up, and it still hurts me. I know what you're trying to do. You're not going to get me mad, though. You're not going to get me mad. Your little Mox figures can just be the one to have that belt. You know, until
I asked my husband if I can go get the replica belt, and he went, "No." He was just like, No, you're nearly 34. No. And I was like, but
come
but
on.
you're like, I want to be like John Moxley, put on his shirt. He's like, but he doesn't even have the belt anymore. It's like too soon.
Wait.
Too soon.
So he's saying we have to grow up?
No, he's just like
You
mocking
said
you.
nearly
with the fact that-
34. I know.
I know.
I don't want to grow
And
up.
he was just like, he doesn't even have the belt anymore. And I was like, it still
Yeah.
hurts, man. Like, shush. Like, stop being mean. Oh, and I wore my new mock shirt to my mum and stepdad's over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I said, what did you come in your shirt? He went, that's distressing. And I was like, it's really good though, isn't it? I said, well, he's my favourite wrestler's shirt. And he went, he doesn't look very well.
That's
I know
a good
it's a
line.
design. It's a design. He went, yeah, but he doesn't
doesn't look
exist
very
on it.
well.
There's just the skull. And I know, but it's white. He went, well, at least you have got different colour on. I was like, well, what do you want from me?
I'm trying.
I'm trying, yeah.
Oh,
Ah, dear me.
all right.
So that's the
Good
end of the
deal.
Q&As.
Yes, that was the one with the Q&A bit. We hope you enjoyed it. We always love answering those questions, so be on the
And they do
lookout
go
for the
off
next.
on tangents.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. If you're wanting straightforward answers, you've come to the wrong show.
Yep. Yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
there will be twists and turns. We'll eventually try to get back on track at some point during the show, but it's just hard finding our way back sometimes. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna just be on the lookout on Twitter for those Q&A threads. That we'll probably put those out every Sunday, more than likely.
Yeah.
You may see them on Saturday at some point. May start it early, but it'll be on during the weekend is when we will drop those threads.
And
So be on the
we'll tag
lookout
you
for
in
them.
them when we can. But if you don't want to be tagged, we won't tag you if you just let us know in a message. Or if you do want to be tagged because you want to know when them threads are up, let us know in a message again and ask us to put you on the tag thread. So
Absolutely. But don't forget to follow us on Twitter. You can follow the channel at BeautyXTheBeard. You can follow me at Play, and you can follow Sarah at Strange_Pixie.
you can. Woody,
What?
do we have something special happening this week?
We do have something special happening this week. Are we going to talk about it right now? Are we going to announce it on this?
No.
We're not going to announce it?
No.
Okay.
If you want to find out what it is, you'll have to wait till we drop it.
Yeah. It's going to be cool.
Let's just
pretty
say
cool.
we had fun.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely. We did have fun.
We did.
I had fun. Yeah, so.
Should be dropping Thursday.
It will be dropping Thursday. So keep an eye out for it. Something new, something good, something special.
Just for you guys for being so nice and listening to us ramble.
Some of y'all have been nice. There's that one guy, though. I'm just kidding. Y'all are cool.
There's one person out there going,
wait a minute.
Me?
Is he talking about me?
He's joking. You're all lovely.
Yes, absolutely. Always fun. So, all right. Thank y'all for listening.
Yes.
Don't forget to be good to each other out there, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye. Bye.